Hi everybody, my name is Matt Haynes. I'm an audiobook narrator, and for this video I'm going to take you a little bit into the process I go through when creating characters for the books. Now, actually, what I just said was completely false. I don't create the characters. The author creates the characters, and that's a really important thing. The voices I provide aren't to necessarily make the character come alive, but rather to let the character be the way they are indicated in the story, because the author supplies everything that we need to know through the words. I just give it a little bit of a bump. So with this project that I'm working on with Kris Michaels, we are doing a series of romance novels. Kris Michaels has written a best-selling series called Kings of Guardian. In book 2, there are two lead characters. One is Joseph, who is a deadly assassin. The other is Ember, who is his childhood best friend, or adolescent best friend, and she is reunited with him in a situation of crisis. What I go through when I'm working on characters with authors is I have them tell me as much about the character as they can. I set up a Google Drive spreadsheet, and one of the things that the author indicates is what kind of character or celebrity equivalent I could look at on YouTube to just get a starting point. I tell the authors that it's never going to be a perfect impersonation, but at least now I have a much better idea of what they're imagining, both in look and in feel. So let's start with Ember. Ember is being modeled after Linda Fiorentino, and Kris describes her as somebody who is very determined, very hot-tempered, highly intelligent and competent. And so with Linda Fiorentino and those different adjectives and descriptors, the first thing is the resonance. I have a somewhat limited capacity to do different female voices because of the equipment I've been given. But where I decided to go was into the soft palate area. If you go cartoony, it sounds a bit like this, but you sort of get the idea of where basically I'm working almost like a human kazoo with my resonance. But we take it down, we make it smoother, we make it more like my voice. So I'm talking more like this. Also, people who are highly educated, as the character is, they tend to enunciate a bit more. Sometimes that can be used as a nice verbal weapon. When they are particularly angry, they will enunciate, or if they're particularly upset, enunciate. So I had her be someone who enunciates quite a bit, gave her voice sort of a low, but also very, very, what's the name, sort of smoky kind of sound to it. So that's the first voice that you'll be hearing. Now, the next one, Joseph, was compared to Dirty Harry era Clint Eastwood, or at least the Dirty Harry persona, maybe not the era, because it spans several eras. But Dirty Harry. Okay, so Dirty Harry, the thing about Clint Eastwood is that a lot of people sort of characterize him as having a scratchy voice. As a matter of fact, Clint's got a pretty smooth voice that then goes into rasp when he's upset. But especially in his younger days, it was actually a very mellow voice. It was just down there a bit, and it would sort of go into a rasp when he was particularly angry. So I took that slide and that sort of snake-like quality, and I put that into Joseph's voice. So what you're about to hear is a situation where Ember is on the run. She's calling Joseph for help, and we'll see how it plays out in this minute-and-a-half sample.
Ember drew a shaking breath, willing herself not to dissolve into tears. "Joey, he was found dead this morning. The papers said it was a suicide, but he would never kill himself." "Where are you, and do you still have the drive?" His deep, rich voice melted her to the core, similar to the voice of the young man she once knew, but now deeper, with a terse, clipped edge. His voice held a distinct chill, a distance. Ember's mind raced. Perhaps he wouldn't help? How much had he changed over the years? Was she wrong to reach out to him? Well, hell, it had been 16 years. "Joey, maybe I freaked out a little bit. I don't know. I didn't really know what to do, so I think I may have overreacted. Hell, I threw my cell phone out on the interstate and left my truck in a mall parking lot. Maybe I watched too much TV, but I didn't want to be tracked, so I bought prepaid cell phones and I'm on a bus heading to Kansas City. All with cash, of course. Being careful keeps people alive. I need information. Now. The man's name? Where did this happen? And do you still have the drive?
So there's a sample from Kings of Guardian Book 2 by Kris Michaels, and that one is out, ready for you to listen to. And good news, Kris and I are just about to come out with Book 3. So stay tuned, and I will see you next time.